Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our dot programming language course. I hope you all are fine. Our previous tutorial was about break and continue statement in dot. Now in today's tutorial we are going to discuss exception handling. An exception is an error that occurs at runtime during program execution. When the exception occurs, the flow of the program is interrupted and the program terminates abnormally. There is a high chance of crashing or terminating the program when an exception occurs. Therefore, to save your program from crashing, you need to catch the exception, right? During program execution, if there is any exception, then our program will be terminated, right? It will stop working. So it is always recommended to handle the exception that can be occur in our program. So we can handle exceptions by using try and catch block, right? Let me open VS Code and show you practically. Here, first of all, let me show you an example. For example, there is a variable a, integer a, its value is 10, right? Now here, if I want integer division, right, by 0, a integer division by 0, right? So you all know this is not possible to divide any number with 0, right? So this time it will show an exception. Let me run our program. Here you can see it is showing exception, right? Integer division by 0 exception, right? You can see our program has stopped working here. So this is the issue. That is why we use exception handling to handle the exceptions in our program. Now we will handle this exception by using try catch block. Let me show you. First of all, let me close this program here. Now we will handle this exception by using try and catch block. There are two blocks, try and catch block, right? Let me explain this. Now we will write our code in a try block that can have exception a integer division 0, right? Now in this case, if there is any exception in try block, we will handle this exception in catch block. In catch block, let me print the exception here. Now if I run the program, you will see here, you can see it is printing integer division by 0 exception. This is showing exception. This time our program does not crash, right? Our program is working properly, and we handled our exception by using try catch. Here it is showing the exception. Instead of crashing, it is showing us an error, an exception, right? This is the use of try catch block. In this way we can handle our exceptions. So we write our code in try block, right? If there is an error, right, then it will execute catch block, right? And if there is no error, then only try block will be executed. It will not execute catch block, right? In case of error, it will execute catch block, and if there is no error, it will execute only try block. But if we have a requirement to execute some code in both cases, right, if there is an error or not, in both cases our code should be executed, then we can use here finally. There is a finally block. Here inside finally block, it will always be executed. Finally always be executed, right? If there is an error in our program or not, in both cases our finally block will be executed. Let me show you. Here you can see finally always be executed. It is printing, it means it is working. And if let me add here 10. Now you will see In this case, this is also printing finally always be executed, right? So keep in mind our finally block will be executed always, right? This is the use of, so this is the way we can handle our exception, right? Now, for example, I have a requirement to throw an exception by using a condition, right? Then how I can throw exception? Here, for example, let me remove finally. Now here I can use condition on our variable a here. For example, if our variable a is greater than 5, then I can throw exception. You can throw any exception. In this case, I will throw format exception. If our variable a value is greater than 5, then I will show my own exception, my custom exception. Here it will show format exception. Let me show you. Here you can see it is showing format exception because I used condition to show exception. Let me show you another example. For example, there is a variable signals, right? Its value, let me assign it 4, and here I will check the condition signals. If signals is less than 1, right? If signals value is less than 1, then I will show here HTTP exception. Let me show you. HTTP exception. Here we need to pass a message. In this case, I will pass no internet. This is just an example. Let me show you. Here you can see there is no error, right? Now let me change it to 0. 0 means there is no signal, right? When our signals are less than 1, right? Then it will show exception, HTTP exception, and the message no internet. Let me print this. Here you can see it is showing HTTP exception, no internet, right? So this is the use of exception handling. If you have any question in your mind, you can ask in comment box. And if you have any suggestion regarding our channel or this course, you can also type in comment box. Okay, good luck.